Today, I officially graduate from the Quantic School of Business and Technology's Executive MBA program. I enrolled in February 2020, and little did I know that it was a really good decision to sign up for an online degree program because even face-to-face programs would soon be forced to go online for the foreseeable future. So I was really happy with my choice, and I feel like since I've been developing online and e-learning courses for about 15 years, I'm in a really good position to review what it was like being an online student in the Quantic program. So I do want to highlight some of my favorite features, and as a learning experience designer, these are things that really impacted me as a student and I take forward when I'm designing experiences for other people. The first thing would be, I think they might have a philosophy of ABA, always be assessing, because the whole experience is formative assessment. So you can't sleep through a course because you are required to interact with the content so often and you're getting feedback constantly. And I found the feedback, like if I got something wrong, especially helpful to figure out that I did have a misconception or I had a skill gap or a knowledge gap. So formative assessment, continuous, and then each lesson or each course was capped by a larger formative assessment, or I guess we'd call it a summative assessment, but you could take it as many times as you needed to, and I found those especially helpful to help me prepare for final exams for a course too. The fact that I could retake the course quizzes until I got really comfortable with the material and felt ready to take the exam. There were a few case studies built into the program, and these, I thought they were really thoughtfully designed. It was like just enough to push me, to challenge me, to apply the concepts and synthesize the concepts in a way that I definitely could not have done before I took these courses. And it was also open-ended enough that I could pull from other resources like books I was reading or podcasts that I listened to or my own experience in the work world to kind of beef up what I was presenting and using the concepts from the course. So I was really impressed with the case studies. Also, we had to do video presentations that we recorded and submitted. So I thought that was good to push us to practice our presentation skills along with the actual content we were talking about. The group work. As a student, I have not historically been a huge fan of group work because everybody knows you get into the situation where some people don't pull their weight, or if you feel like you're a strong student, sometimes it's like, I could have done this on my own and it would have been faster and I wouldn't have had to wait for other people in other time zones. And honestly, my experience was none of that. I was always thankful that I was working with these other people. I did get to choose who I worked with. However, for both my group projects, I had never met these people before. We sort of all just signed up on a Google Doc because we had similar time zones and really got to know each other through the group work. And not once did I think, oh, I wish I was doing this on my own. Instead, I thought, oh, I'm so glad I have the input and the different perspectives from these other people. And our final product was so much more than I ever could have produced on my own. So in that sense, the group work was obviously very thoughtfully designed. And as someone who has had to design group work, that's not easy. That's not an easy task. So I'm really impressed with the way they designed the projects and my whole experience of doing the group projects. Our Slack channel helped me feel like I was part of a community. It's a global cohort. So especially during a worldwide pandemic, I could hear other people's experiences in all different countries, and they're representing all different industries and all different functions within those industries. So it was just such a cool cross-section of people, and I could participate as much or as little as I wanted. If I had time, I could jump into discussions. I could join channels that were of interest to me. And if I didn't have the time, it wasn't necessary to graduate, so I could kind of pull back. The other thing that was really impressive to me was the way that the program designers built in a constant feedback loop. So at the end of the lessons, they would ask for your feedback. You could, and this was optional, but you could do a thumbs up, thumbs down, and what specifically was good or bad about the lesson. So the curriculum designers are getting all this data, all this user data to continuously improve and find out what's working and what's not. And I thought that was just really smart and something that you just can't achieve if you're using any other sort of platform. One other feature I thought was interesting was the student onboarding process. So as part of my application, I actually completed a few introductory courses using the actual platform that I would then use for the rest of the coursework. And I thought this was really smart. So as a student, it got me used to the type of interactions that were expected and the way the content would be presented. And so it could have like weeded me out if that wasn't really my style. And then from the school's perspective, at least they saw I was serious enough to complete coursework before I was even in the program, and at a level that was, passing or satisfactory. And then also as part of the application process, I completed an interview, like a Zoom interview, and I appreciated that as well because, a lot of times you apply for something and it's all you on paper, and you can't really let your personality shine or sort of communicate your passions or why you want to do this as best as you can in an interview with the audio and visual. So I really appreciated the opportunity to do the interview, and it helped me see that this was a real school with real people too, because that's the other thing is it is all online and pretty much asynchronous for the most part. So it helps to be reminded that it's real people on the other side of the computer, people who care about what they're doing and do provide support to the students during the program. So overall, I think as you can tell, I was super impressed with the program. I'm so glad I did it. I love having this confidence of this business education that I've been able to really integrate with all my work experience and all my other education and really customize it in a way that worked for me, and it was totally flexible with my schedule. Honestly, I completed some of my coursework on the couch, while watching my kids or in line at the grocery store. It's just so flexible because the coursework is mobile friendly and accessible from your phone. You can start and stop whenever you need to. And again, super impressed. So glad I did it. And for anybody with whom this is resonating, I'm happy to talk with you more about it. And I wish you the best of luck.